So that's the whole floor sealed off, mate. Terrific, thank you very much. You all right, love? SO19 got every entrance to the ward covered.
Can someone tell me what's going on, please?
It's all right, there's nothing for you to worry about. Ridge is outside now, so if you can spot the guy I saw earlier, I'll leave you to it.
How do you know the man you saw was the hitman?
Well, I don't, yeah. It's just that... Well, there was something about him, yeah? Very cold eyes. Give me the creeps.
Sure it wasn't a consultant?
That's him. Trojan unit from 171, suspect seen heading towards the boiler room area, wearing a white coat, over.
Not anymore.
He knows we're onto him. What's SO19?
I don't know. We can't let him go.
You're looking worried, Pete. You should be. We just arrested a Keith Dixon at St. Hugh's Hospital. He was armed with a .38 caliber handgun.
I've never heard of him.
He'll be interviewed by our colleagues at Barton Street. Maybe you should try and put the frighteners on him as well.
I want to speak to my wife. I want to speak to Louise.
So many people to try and keep quiet, ain't
You know what? You really ought to be ashamed of yourself. All of you! And you! Did you encourage one of your officers to get cosy with my missus, eh? Did you? Did you know what he was doing to her? Do you honestly think that any judge is going to let you get away with what he did to my missus? All right!
Zen. Just tell me the truth. Did you get Smithy to have an affair with Larson's wife?
Do you really think that Smithy would go after a villain's wife just on my say-so? I begged him to leave Louise alone. When I realised he wasn't going to do the sensible thing, then yeah, I thought about using it to my advantage.
I see. Right, well, I'm going to interview Larson now with DC Markham.
But I want to be in there.
What you want doesn't come into this, DC Nadir. I want an officer I can trust with the facts, and that's not you. See you in CID.
Good. I'll take care of it. Just been talking to my governor. He wants us to take it from here.
And why would that be?
Because Larson's been an NCS target for years.
Well, maybe you should point out to your governor that your target almost killed one of my officers. Now, I'm sorry, son, but in my book, that makes him ours. Now, let's get him interviewed. I don't need to tell you the trouble you got yourself into, Mr. Larson. Kidnapping a police officer is a very serious matter. You're also still under suspicion for shooting Vince Garrison. We know you got to the witness through his brief.
I never shot Vince Garrison. I've never shot anyone.
ECI Meadows shows the prisoner the handgun.
Do you deny you were in possession of this gun when you were arrested on East Key Road? And that you threatened Sergeant Smith with it when you were arrested? And that you told Sergeant Smith you shot Vince Garrison?
Is that what he says?
You confessed.
Oh, well, that's his story. Where's this going to? His word against mine?
Aside from this gun, there was another gun found at your house which is currently being checked by ballistics. I'm sure no one will be surprised if their findings match the bullets with those found in Garrison's body.
No, I bet they will. In fact, I'd stake my life on it.
And why's that?
Because I saw Sergeant Smith planting that gun in my home.
And why would he do that?
To stitch me up. For the benefit of the tape. Sergeant Smith wants me out of the way so he can continue a sexual liaison with my wife.
So you're saying that Sergeant Smith knew the identity of the gun that killed Vince Garrison?
Yes.
And he had this gun in his possession?
He didn't have the gun to start with. It was given to him by someone else.
Who?
Vince Garrison's killer. My wife.
Yeah, I've had enough of this.
Sarge.
You know what, love? We can do this later.
I'm sorry. Look, Sarge, you're in a fit state to go anywhere. The best thing you can do is stay here and get checked out properly.
You know what? When I want your opinion, Tony, I'm going to ask for it.
Sarge.
Get out of my way, Tony. I'm giving you an order.
Sorry, Sarge. Taking my orders from DCI Meadows. He's got a bigger badge than you. What you've got to do is stay here and get sorted.
Look, I just want to make sure that Louise is okay.
She's fine. And the hitman's in a Barton Street cell. I'm going to go and get the nurse, all right? And this time, try and be nice to her. You can go in again now, thanks. Everything all right?
We've been called back to the Nick for a debrief.
I'm supposed to be looking after Smithy.
Not anymore, you're not, Tony. Come on. Going? Yeah.
Sarge? Sarge, are you okay?
Roger, can you leave us alone for a second, please?
Well, I have got my orders.
Okay, in that case, I'm putting you on refs. Go and get yourself a cup of tea or something. She's okay, she's safe now.
I won't be far away.
What did Pete do to you?
This is all my fault.
I kept asking to see you and they wouldn't tell me anything. I didn't know what happened. They just let me know that you were alive.
Fine.
They started asking me questions. So I just pretended to be asleep. Pete called me texting that message to you.
Yeah, look, don't worry. It's fine, don't worry.
Why were there so many armed police? What was happening? You just said I'm safe.
When I was with Pete, he phoned someone called Dixie. I mean, he was obviously very upset about us.
Keith Dixon.
And he asked him to,
Pete wanted me dead. Sorry.
It's okay, it's fine.
Mrs. Larson, my name is DC Susie Sim. We need to speak to you about certain allegations your husband's made about the murder of Vince Garrison.
You what?
Our DCI just interviewed your husband. He claims you were responsible for Vince Garrison's death.
You are kidding, right?
That's ridiculous. What's he said?
You killed him.
No, he wouldn't.
The consultant's told us that as long as you're willing, he's happy for us to take you back to Sunhill to...
Are you totally off your head?
...to ask you some questions.
You can't seriously think I'm involved.
This isn't the only allegation he's made against you. He's shown us a number of documents taken from your house, your signature all over them. It appears you're as tied up in the Larson Empire as he is.
That's not true.
Are you too stupid? Pete's just trying to stitch her up.
I think you should leave.
No. You can't do this.
Sarge.
Please don't go.
I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry. What do you think you're playing at? She isn't working with Larson, and you can't seriously think that she killed Garrison.
Of course I don't. But her name is on everything. Bank books, deeds, bonds, you name it. What do you want me to do?
I am telling you, Louise is not involved.
Well, then she needs to prove it. She is the one who is protecting Larson, remember? If she wants to save her own skin, she better start talking to me.
Now, let me understand you. So you are going to use his lies to intimidate her into giving you what you want?
If you mean the truth, then yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
I want you out there now. This is it. Pete knows all about our affair. He's just getting back at her.
All right. Now just listen.
No! You listen. I want you to leave her alone. We're getting Larson anyway for kidnapping me. He's going down anyway. You don't need her help.
For kidnapping?
Yes!
What is that, 8 years, maybe? He's a murderer, Smithy. A career criminal who's been getting away with it his entire life. When he goes down, I want him to go down for good.
You have got no idea what she's been through today. Her husband has taken a contract out on her life. Now you think that pointing the finger at her is going to give her the courage she needs to come forward?
I'm not pointing the finger. The evidence is there in black and white.
Yeah? Well, none of it is going to stick.
Now you think about that. Her innocence means nothing if she can't prove it.
I am not going to let you back her into a corner.
We have to be tough with her. All I want is answers. Don't go back in there. If you do, I kiss goodbye to Nadine Larson. You kiss goodbye to your career.